Okay, folks, how you doing? Well, I wanted to show this because this was, you hear the word. It's a commonly clickbait that you'll see a title that says Oprah does the ultimate gotcha moment, or so and so gets destroyed. And you see that all the time. It comes from all sides of the spectrum, politically, culturally, whatever. And it's common and it's fun to do. It's fun to say, oh, look, somebody totally got destroyed in a debate, or Douglas Murray destroyed Malcolm. I forget what his last name is. That guy wrote a bunch of books. He destroyed a guy, some dude, journalist in Canada in a debate. Actually, it was pretty awesome. But let me tell you, there is no joke. Ramaswamy did destroy a reporter, a Washington Post reporter. Now, remember, journalists are there, mainstream media journalists are there to protect the anointed, okay, the elites. So the powerful, the bankers, the Wall Streeters, and the politicians. And so their job isn't to be honest. Their job is to act as a watchdog against like conservatives or libertarians, well, anybody who's outside their sphere, which is pretty big. That's majority of the world, essentially. Even traditional liberals pretty much now are like, oh my gosh, I'm a liberal, but I don't know, man. Now my views are considered conservative because the left has gone so far left. So Ramaswamy destroys Washington Post reporter over dumb gotcha question about white supremacy. Of course. White supreme pizza. Order me up some white supreme pizza, man. Delish. By now, one might think that the liberal media would know better than to try to ask a gotcha question of Vivek Ramaswamy. I know. But alas, they have not yet learned that lesson, and it's only going to bolster him, because he'll probably run for president again in 2028, and because this is his round, this is his moment to make his presence known, to very distinctly get people on board for the next several years to go, yeah, I'm a real, get this train going. And I do like Ramaswamy. I think there's a little part of me that wonders, it's a little suspect of certain things. He's incredibly eloquent speaker. I love his viewpoints. I'm on almost every one of them, but that also makes me a little hesitant too, because I'm like, we've seen this before where psyops, deep state, they put out a candidate who just has everything that they have tapped into for like people who are more conservative or even perhaps libertarian to a degree. And so they so there's a little bit of distrust there, but at this point there's a lot of distrust in America because both government and these technocrats, corporate, we've seen the curtain's been drawn. We see what you've been doing. You've screwed us over. You've censored us. You've demonized us. You've come down on us with draconian measures for speaking out about like COVID and stuff like that. So I'm going to just play it instead of read this whole thing, and you will see how she tries to bait him with the stupidest, dumbest ass question, and he basically destroys her.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination.
Okay, let me just tell you, you can't hear her question very well. She just says, I'm not, she asked him, are you going to condemn white supremacy and white nationalism? Okay, so let's start that again.
I'm not going to recite some catechism for you. I'm against vicious racial discrimination in this country. So I'm not pledging allegiance to your new religion of modern wokeism, which absolutely fits the test. I'm not going to bend the knee to your religion. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to bend the knee to mine, and I'm not going to bend the knee to yours. But do I condemn vicious racial discrimination? Yes, I do. Am I going to play your silly game of gotcha? No, I'm not. And frankly, this is why people have lost trust. And I know you're going to go print the headline tomorrow. I already know this. We already know how your game works. Vivek Ramaswamy refuses to condemn white supremacy because you asked a stupid question. The reality is, I condemn vicious racial discrimination in this country, but the kind of vicious and systematic racial discrimination we see today is discrimination on the basis of race in a very different direction. You want to know what the best way is to end discrimination on the basis of race? Stop discriminating on the basis of race. Do that, and we're going to move this country forward. And I don't care whether you're black or white or brown or anything in between. That's how we're going to unite this country. You people have been responsible for dividing this country to a breaking point, creating a projection of national division. I meet people from the south side of Chicago to meetings like this one of every shade of melanin, multiple, from man to woman, doesn't make a difference, who are hungry for reviving unity in this country. And you, with your catechism that you try to get to politicians to whatever fake headline you're going to print on the basis of this conversation tomorrow, that's what's dividing this country to a breaking point. Shame on you. Look people in the eye and tell them what you've actually failed to tell them for the last 5 years. Own the accountability for your own failures as the media. That's how we rebuild trust in this country. And until then, I don't have a lot of patience to play the games.
Awesomeness. So he did destroy her on many levels there. One is basically saying, I am not going to fall into this catechism. I'm not going to be part of your religion. I'm not going to worship at the altar of this secular AI constructed WEF UN controlled world, one world order that you people have set up, not only just to be in charge, but to be worshiped too. Now remember, they're a religion because they demand your worship now. They demand your compliance, total and whole. And so they are, for example, they will get to a point, like in 1984, they will get to a point where it's not just that you comply and you're quiet. You're going to have to recite what they tell you. People already do. Stupid people do. I'll be honest. But you're going to have to recite that. You're going to have to do, I think it's called like, I forget what it's called in 1984. But it's basically Ministry of Truth types of games where they, in the end, they can't get enough because when you go down this road of censorship and constructing narratives that are not what people really think, when you don't listen to people, you don't want their opinions, and the media looks down and sneers at regular people because they represent the elites. And this is how they are a reflection of how the elites think about you. You are expendable to them. You are a resource to be drained, wrung out, and used, and then in the end, thrown away and killed. That's why eugenics, that's why every globalist loves eugenics. The religion of globalism is, this is what you have to worship, you have to bow down to. And so journalists who keep their jobs now for mainstream media, that's what they have to do. If you want to keep your job, and you're going to play that game. And I don't have much respect for you, actually. I have no respect for you if you are part of the mainstream media. I have zero respect for you. I don't care. I'm conservative, but I hate Fox. I hate CNN. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them, and I don't respect most politicians. And there's probably 5 that I can think of that I actually have a little bit of respect for. But outside of that, we're all seeing the light, the two-party system. I'm glad Ramaswamy, he's running as a Republican, and I get it, that's part of the game that we play. But the two-party system is something to keep us, probably one of the most effective tools to keep us divided against each other, which is the power that the elites leverage over us, is to keep us divided. So anyway, I continue on, I digress. But Vivek, however you say it, previously went viral when an Iowa voter challenged him on LGBTQ issues. He responded by pointing out the blatant inconsistencies of the movement, namely its original claim that sexual orientation is hardwired at birth, which was a foundation of the gay rights movement. I remember that. They always said that it was hardwired at birth. But suddenly now you can wake up and go, I identify as a woman. Say, I'm a man. I can wake up tomorrow and go, oh, no, I'm a woman. I can wake up tomorrow and identify as I have no parking tickets. How convenient. How does that work out? So now we can see why people like Dr. Claudine Gay at Harvard got to be president while plagiarizing up to about allegedly 50 papers. Okay, we can see how this happens because when you change the goalposts on a daily basis, your movement doesn't have an anchor. And it doesn't have a rudder. There's no direction. It can go any direction at once. So I like that he did that. Is hardwired at birth, which was the foundation of the gay rights movement, to the current belief that one's biological sex can be fluid throughout your life. That is an excellent argument. I'm like, is somebody talking in his ear while he answers these questions? Because he's very good. But I think he's astute, and I like Vivek a little more because he's not relying on donors. If people want to donate, they can, but he can do it on his own without donors, kind of like Trump. Now, I support Trump more simply because we saw what he did and he has experience, but Vivek gives me a little ray of hope. I just need to gain a little more trust, but the system right now is at the low tide of trust. So anyway, he also pointed out contradictions in the feminist movement, which initially embraced diverse expressions of womanhood, but now suggests any deviation from traditional womanhood means that a woman is actually a man. So anyway, excellent. That, if you want to talk about, you hear that all the time, oh, so-and-so totally destroyed them. They totally backhanded them online. Total gotcha. This is one of them. This is one of the few. We overuse that word, but he did destroy. He destroyed them. And I suggest that I've only seen Carrie Lake and Vivek and Trump. They will destroy reporters. And the way I think more politicians need to do it is when they are asked questions by reporters, ask the reporters questions. Tell them that they suck. Tell them that they're terrible at their job. Condemn them. I know this is harsh, but it's got to be this way because these people will not let up. These are the pit bulls for the elites, the mainstream media. Tell them they suck. And he told them, he says, that is stupid and your question is stupid. But okay, let's talk about it. They tell them the truth. And that's what these people need to do. Don't stand there and try to be nice, Kevin McCarthy. No, tell them what's up. Tell them they stink at their job. And I know what you're doing. And you're going to post this and put it in some sort of narrative or artificial light the next day. So, to fit your leftist narrative. So I love that. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and have a good day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.